Shedeur Sanders has easily become maybe the favorite player on Cleveland Browns roster for a lot of residents in Cleveland. And it has nothing to do with likes, social media posts, or anything, but the fact that he is making his impact to that community felt already as a fifth round draft pick. Let's talk about it. And what do I mean after the bumper? Stay tuned. What is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? My name is JeffLightsyJr. This is the Vic Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsYJr. YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because I upload it all the time. Now, Shedeur Sanders. Yes, that Shedeur Sanders is in the news, but for an amazing reason. As Shedeur Sanders is giving back to the city of Cleveland. So if you don't know, there was a neighborhood in Cleveland that experienced an explosion that led to a big fire. And that left a lot of residents with no longer having homes, right? Like no food, no homes because of the fire wiped out a lot of their homes, and it impacted this area drastically in Cleveland. And Shedeur Sanders, who was actually out of town when the fire/explosion took place, came back to the city and took care of the people there. Let me show you some of the posts. This is from Leah Doherty. She's a reporter out of Cleveland, and she kind of gives us the synopsis of everything that took place at the Garden Valley Fun Fest, hosted by one Shedeur Sanders. Let's talk about it. Let's listen to Leah and what she had to say about it right here.
This event today, the Garden Valley Fun Fest, is quite a stark contrast from a couple weeks ago, June 23rd, when there was an explosion here. 44 units at the Rainbow Terrace apartments were damaged, more than 100 people displaced. But now if you look around, hundreds of people are out here. Everyone has a smile on their face. I don't know if you can see in the distance, but Shedeur Sanders is out here playing football with members of this community. On the other side of this valley, there's food trucks, different games, inflatables, free haircuts. I talked to members from Shedeur's team. He said they pulled this thing together in about 5 days. Everything is free. They just wanted this to be a fun, uplifting community event for these people that truly have been through so much.
And before we listen to Shedeur, I mean, come on, bro. Like, kudos to this young man. Because, I mean, if y'all grew up like me, y'all can tell that's a project. Like, y'all can tell that's somebody, that's the hood, right? Like, that's the neighborhood that low-income families live in. I can just tell by the apartment building because guess what? I done stayed in them, right? Like, I know what they look like from experience, firsthand experience, not like just from movies. Like, no, I know what those apartments look like. I know nothing about Cleveland. Know nothing about the Garden Valley. Know nothing about that specific apartment complex, but I know what those look like. Like, those look like beach terraces in my hometown, which look like whatever in your hometown. And for him to, and you could tell by the neighborhood, by the kids that were out there. And the first thing you do within a week of coming back to Cleveland from being out of town, he was with his father down at Lake Prime, to throw this completely free haircuts, food trucks. You can't say enough about this young man. Dude, that's pretty awesome. Let's get back to the story.
Of course, everybody know about the situation, everything that happened here, and I was out of town when it happened, so I was able to put things together, structure things the best we could in the small amount of time we had, to make sure everybody's accommodated. It's bigger than football, like it's bigger than football out here.
Browns rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders is a guy that is very new to Northeast Ohio, but he's already organized a few different community service events, just not only to meet different members of the community, but help out areas that there's need. There was one woman walking around that I spoke with who said, I've grown up here my whole life. I've never seen something like this. To have a guy like Shedeur with the platform that he has to be able to bring members of the community together and be able to help out is something this community is very excited about. I also spoke to Councilman Richard Starr, who told me that everyone that was displaced from the fire has now all officially been rehomed. So that is great news. In Garden Valley, Leah Doherty. Night.
Shout out to Leah Doherty, man. That was great. It was great reporting, by the way. I love local reporting, and that is great. That was great stuff by her. But I mean, I've been, like, you guys know that I've been critical of, things done in the past. I was very critical of Shedeur's pre-draft process. I didn't think he handled the pre-draft process right. And I think that gave the NFL ammunition to do him the way that they did him. Now, was that wrong? Yes, absolutely. But it's a game. It's how business is played, and that's why he fell to the 5th round. But every single thing that he has done to me, since he was drafted in the 5th round by the Cleveland Browns, spot on. Every single thing. Now, I know some people haven't liked the social media post, right? Like him running at midnight or 2 a.m. when he was down in Texas at his father's crib, like doing some of that stuff. That doesn't bother me. Some of the other stuff possibly could, but that in itself doesn't. As long as you're in the field, in the gym, getting stuff together. But this stuff right here is way bigger than football. This stuff is what quarterbacking is about. Like, this is what you pray for in your quarterback, to be able to go out there and help others, to go out there and impact the community. Like, I can tell you, those kids there in Cleveland will never forget the day that Shedeur Sanders hosted a fun festival, hosted the fun festival that allowed all of them to be able to Garden Valley Fun Fest. They will never forget that day. The day that Shedeur Sanders, who was he's a 5th round pick, but he's a bigger than life superstar, just period, right? Like he's Deion Sanders' son. He's Shedeur Sanders, the watch, Colorado, retired jersey. He is Shedeur Sanders now. NIL, all of that stuff. And those young people will never forget the day that Shedeur Sanders pulled up to the Garden Valley Fun Fest in that project, whatever that's called, and took care of them the way that he did, especially after over 100 people had to be displaced because a fire took out their home. They'll never forget that. Like, I remember my interactions with professional athletes as a youngin', and I never forgot. Like, I'll never forget the day that Rajon Rondo hosted his first ever Camp Rondo camp in Louisville, Kentucky, and I was there, and he hooped with us. Rajon freaking Rondo, first round NBA draft pick, and he was from my hometown. Shedeur Sanders from Texas. Shedeur Sanders not from Cleveland. I mean, you can't say enough about this dude. I mean, this dude, but this is one thing I'll say about Shedeur. As much as I've criticized him in the past for on the field play, and then even some of the antics off the field, it's like, Shedeur probably shouldn't do that, whatever. One thing he is consistent about, and this goes all the way back to the days of Jackson State, that is, he is consistent about community service. He cares about the places, where he lives, where he plays football at. He cares about those places and those people in those places. Because I remember when he was at Jackson, this dude was like an 18, 19-year-old freshman. And he would pull up on the residents of Jackson, Mississippi. I think the day that he was transferring or he was moving to Colorado, because his dad took the job as the head coach of the Buffs, he visited a family in Jackson, I think bought him a PS5. Like, it was a youngin'. I don't know if they knew Shedeur for a long time or whatever, but regardless, like the day that he was leaving, he pulled up on that youngin', on that family, and gave him a PS5 and hung out with him for a duration of time. Like, this dude does this is in his wheelhouse. This is what he does. This is clearly something that he's passionate about and cares about. And that's going to take him a long way. Even if he's not the future at quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, because they could be really bad and they could have a very high draft pick. And if you're bad with a high draft pick and what people are calling a way better quarterback draft than the 26 NFL draft, like, he may not be there very long is what I'm getting at. But wherever he goes or however long he is in Cleveland, these type of things will continue, and these type of things are what will keep him in good circles and in good graces of the NFL after, the draft stuff. After the draft stuff's behind you. But what's going to keep him around the league and keep him in good graces of owners and teammates and people in leadership positions around the NFL is stuff like this. Obviously, you got to go out there and play and excel on the field, right? Like, your job is to play football. But these type of things are going to go such a long way for a guy like Shedeur Sanders, especially a guy who at times gets a bad rap. Like, at times Shedeur gets a bad rap. Like, I've been critical of Shedeur. At times he has done things in the past that has shown immaturity. At times he has done things in the past that you don't want to see from your quarterback. At times he has done things in the past like, you got to do some growing up, son. You got to do some growing up, youngin'. But these things, he's always been consistent on. And this is amazing. This is amazing. Those young people at Garden Valley, they'll never forget the day that Shedeur Sanders threw the Garden Valley Fun Fest. And that's someone speaking from experience. Awesome, awesome, awesome stuff for Shedeur. Awesome, awesome, awesome that those young people and those people in that community there in Northeast Ohio, in Cleveland, got a chance to experience that with him. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Shedeur Sanders hosts the Garden Valley Fun Fest and gives everything for free to the community there in Northeast Ohio, in Cleveland. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Once again, my name is Jeff Lightsy Jr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on Jeff Lightsy Jr. YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and notification bell because I upload all the time. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.